Greetings and welcome to Goth Tarot for TFT Tarot for today with Oberon. And today's reading will be a little bit more brief, just kind of mixing it up again. My decks will be the Murder of Crows Tarot and also the Black Tarot. So let's get going. And I've decided to use the Murder of Crows Tarot to set the tone with a general card for the collective and possibly a caveat related to that. If you haven't seen the Murder Crows, there are two versions. I have the limited edition version that has a lot of reds against the otherwise black and white. But like I said, the first card will represent a sense of the overall tone collectively for all Goth people, or for whoever is watching the reading. So let's do that right now. And it's the Hierophant reversed. The Hierophant reversed. The overall tone is one that seems to be unconventional or possibly leaning towards chaotic, or even there could be random factors that just don't seem to line up with what we accept as normal. There could be an emphasis on certain institutions, not necessarily like church or marriage, but just institutional qualities kind of being shaken a little bit, or maybe even having some serious matters of their own that they're going to need to deal with. Let's just move that up there. So is this situation affecting us more internally or externally? And so I'm going to use one of the qualifier cards of the Murder of Crows. One side means emotionally or internally, the other side means externally or physically. So I'm just going to... And it's the Crow Father. So that card indicates that there is a sense that this is an external, that these things that are happening that maybe disrupt institutions or are making us look at them again, or maybe making us scale away from them somehow, it comes from the outside. We're not dealing with the inner feelings of what this card means, sort of the abandonment of norms or conventions. We're dealing with it externally. And so, you know, off the top of my head, I could say that this could be talking about over attention being paid to certain people in our community, like maybe, for example, gay, lesbian, trans, etc., or even people in the Goth community who tend to be alternative religions like paganism, that maybe there is some possibility here that this stuff is happening outwards and will affect us. Now, the second qualifier, is this something that has already begun, or is beginning, or is it something that will be ending? So it kind of flies in the face of this card saying this is the collective card, but you know, maybe it's already been a factor for a while, or maybe there's something that is concluding that. So, bam! No, it's beginning. It's the Crow. I'm sorry, it's ending. It's the Crow of Dusk. The other side is the Crow of Dawn, and Christopher Lee, or his facsimile there, says it's beginning, but we have the other side. So whatever is randomly affecting our sense of institutions and conventionality, it's coming to us from the external. It's not necessarily something we're thinking about, but it's coming towards us from outside forces. And the time is nigh. It is beginning. And I could say this could be an attack on religion in general, maybe coming from those who always feel they serve the one right and true way. So I'm going to leave these here to kind of resonate there. And I'm now going to move on to the reading using the Black Tarot. And the reading is going to be simple this time. I'm actually adapting it from one of Banshee's readings that we do on the live stream and that I also use in my emotional exchanges on Fridays. So we're going to pull 3 cards, and we're asking with the first card, what is coming towards us? What is the vibration or energy that will be most affecting Goth life, Goth philosophies, all of that? And it's the Empress reversed. What is coming towards us, I guess, is possibly a true need to really focus on ourselves. Hear, hear. It could be because of this card that sets the tone, the idea that we must really look at how to take care of ourselves, to nurture ourselves, to find ways to set a healing tone or a tone of self-care for ourselves. Why is this important? The second card. Oh, and it's this deck's version of the Hierophant. And it's also reversed. So it correlates totally with this. This is so awesome because it's important, because structures, conventions, institutions, they are a little bit topsy-turvy, and maybe those effects will be significant and maybe more focused towards people like us, as I've indicated from the start there. So it sort of indicates that this feeling that we need to take care of ourselves, it's important because there's factors that are being moved to oppose some of us, or moved to oppose our movement, things like that. Where will this lead to? The final card. They're all reversed, which I don't like. It's the reversed Ace of Wands. This is a collective reading, so this doesn't necessarily involve each of us. If you can relate to it, you can, but as a collective reading, you could also be talking about the greater society of Goth thought. And so the Ace of Wands reversed could be saying that there are some setbacks here for the kind of things that we would want to do to have acceptance, or to be able to network, or be able to express ourselves. The things that give us voice to our feelings, or make us, be able to be a leader in our own way. These things, this is where it's going, is that this could be very impactful. It could be very impactful for us. And, speaking from personal, I just attended the week-long Parliament of the World's Religions, where all of the world's religions, or many of them, gather. Possibly up to 200 different religions were represented. And it wasn't just Wicca, it was also Norse, Druids, Kemetic, other sorts of pagans, even pagans from the African diaspora, or perhaps the Spanish diaspora, I don't know if there is one actually, but there could be. We're all there, working together, feeling peace and love. But everybody outside of the Parliament, or people who never think about the Parliament, many of these people could be very predisposed against all these religions, seeking acceptance and seeking to to show, that religion isn't necessarily the monotheistic paradigm, the overarching, overruling, thou shalt not. It's really depressing when you hear that people that attend evangelical services tell pastors that they don't believe that those red letters that Jesus said are appropriate now, and that we have to not be so weak. Talk about not getting what Jesus' message was. But that's where we're at. And I'm not saying that these things necessarily relate to that. But the Hierophant, whether it's from this one or this one, it can be talking about structured, organized religion. And so when it's reversed, there is something that maybe is working against that. Will there be a backlash, or will there be other things happening, ramifications from this process? I leave that to you out there, but please consider sharing your own thoughts or ideas about this. You never know, really, what it means to understand the way our world is changing quickly. And I think there's just coming a time where we all need to prepare for what's coming, and to realize that we can no longer necessarily stay in our closets or our shells. It may be safer there, but then we're negating really what the potential and the promise of not only our movement, but our sense of spirituality means to the rest of the world. Pagans revere nature. Pagans want a world that works for everyone, that is not polluted, that shares resources, that values women or people who are not necessarily male, female, straight, etc. So I think this is a wake-up call of sorts. Let me know what you think. Until the next time, Goth Tarot.